Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today I want to bring up a topic that needs to be addressed after the last chapter of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, which is Himawari and Boruto reconnecting and why this could shape up to be Boruto's first major step towards righting the wrong created by Kawaki using Ada's omnipotence Shinjutsu to reverse the memories of everyone into believing Boruto's the ungrateful outsider and Kawaki is the rightful son of Naruto and Hinata. However, while Boruto is shown fighting against Code in the Claw Grimes and trying to protect the village, Kawaki is slowly digging himself into a grave that he's not going to be able to get himself out of because he's gotten too cocky during his time inside of Konoha, living out his fantasy as Naruto's son. The reason why I bring this up is that there are signs of this being the case right from the jump of this time skip. We know immediately after the Shinjutsu was casted that there was a lot of pushback on Kawaki while people believed him when he said that Boruto killed Naruto, largely because Ada with her Sharingan confirmed it for everyone. There was pushback on everything else initially. The lack of Momoshiki's chakra inside of Kawaki was the first major flag for a lot of people, and then the question became, why was Kawaki a cyborg? Because Naruto's son was never experimented on by car scientist Amato. He wasn't supposed to be a mechanically enhanced human like all the other car inners. There were red flags all over the place, but as we saw with Sasuke, the more time that passed on, the harder it began to actually fight back and question the changes made, and everyone in Konoha just accepted these changes without question, which I've explained in detail in a dummy-proof video explaining omnipotence that you should check out if you're still confused or you think photos of baby Boruto, academy student Boruto are going to be enough to make people say that Kawaki's a fraud. You're grossly underestimating Shinjutsu if that's the case. However, Boruto's return to Konoha is coming at a time where Kawaki has made some grave mistakes during his time pretending to be Naruto's son. We saw Mitsuki beginning to question Kawaki's behavior, asking himself if Kawaki was still the sun that lights up his moon. Kawaki wasn't behaving like the son of Naruto, and it troubled him. Himawari in the latest chapter was shown with a hurt and shocked expression when she called Kawaki her big brother, and he basically stepped on her hope and her love for him by telling her, "Don't call me that ever again," and that he's getting annoyed with constantly having to remind her to not call him that, even after all this time has passed. Kawaki is someone who has been devoid of love for so long that he doesn't know how to handle love being expressed to him as the son of Naruto, the very much loved and admired son of the 7th Hokage, who himself is loved and adored by the entire ninja village as well as the entire ninja world. His reaction is the same as it was when Boruto and Naruto tried to show Kawaki a different path. They tried to show him kindness, and he reacted to that kindness and their understanding of him with aggression and hostility, which is the exact opposite of how the child of Naruto would react. And now you have people who are taking notice of this. That being said, again, they can't just go against the Shinjutsu. In their mind, Kawaki is Naruto's child. That won't ever change, but in their souls, they can feel that something is wrong and that the child of Naruto is changing in a way that seems the exact opposite of the trajectory that the son of Naruto was on before this. It isn't as simple as to say that you can write it off as he just lost his parents, because we've seen it in this series before. That change doesn't happen overnight, even after Sasuke lost the Uchiha clan and his parents, killed by his older brother Itachi. Sasuke's mood changed, but there was still a light inside of him 5 years later when he finally got the curse mark and eventually left the village. It was less bright than it used to be, but it was still there. Naruto's child was raised to overcome that darkness, and even with his parents being dead, he still had the Hyuga clan there. He still had his younger sister that he was overprotective of, and he still had his friends. That's the major difference that would have kept him from falling through those cracks and behaving in a way that Sasuke did when Sasuke went through a similar experience. In fact, a much worse experience than what Kawaki is pretending to go through right now. However, now that Boruto is back, there's going to be a stark difference between the two that is shown off, and we just happen to have Himawari inside the village where all the fighting is taking place. It's almost as if she's being positioned to see Boruto and Kawaki interact during the battles that are occurring, and she's going to be the first one to see the difference between Boruto and Kawaki, where the one who's supposed to be Naruto's son isn't behaving like it, and the one who isn't supposed to be Naruto's son is acting like he was was raised by Naruto, when in reality it should be the opposite. Even now, with Boruto being as straight to the point as he is, telling Code that he'll kill him with no remorse, Boruto's still acting the way that you expect the child of Naruto to approach the situation. Allow me to explain. So he's not busting out a talk no jutsu, preaching the gospel of Hagoromo from the book of Uzumaki chapter 2 verse 3, but he is giving Code the chance to do the right thing and giving him the chance to redeem himself, which is exactly what you would expect from the child of Naruto, giving your enemies more compassion than they actually deserve and waiting to use your full power against them. Sure, there are times where we've seen Naruto go from 0 to 10 right away. We've seen him lose his cool. Two famous examples being when he snapped on Pain once he returned to the village, and the second time being when Naruto gets this insane mental amp following Obito's death, where in the process Naruto powers up so much that he not only speed blitz Kaguya, but he rips off her arm, giving Naruto the second best hit on Kaguya that entire day, behind only DMS Kakashi, to have Kaguya leaking out more blood than a human buffet at a vampire party. However, Naruto typically takes a measured approach against his enemies before he finally takes the kid gloves off. Boruto, whether he realizes it or not, he's been doing the same thing with Code, only this time we can see the obvious influence from Sasuke. Naruto might have been his daddy, but Sasuke clearly raised him into a man, and that's why we see that Boruto isn't playing games with Code right now, and now that he sees there's no talking sense into him, Boruto's just going for the kill. While Himawari won't be able to see what's transpired before this, when Kawaki makes his inevitable move to get to Boruto's location and we see the two interact, if Boruto has that same approach, there are going to be alarm bells going off in Himawari's head of why is one acting like the big brother she remembers and why the other one's acting the exact opposite. And if she's there on the battlefield and Boruto saves her, that familiar touch that comes from her older brother holding her is going to jar something inside of her. The seeds have already been planted when you read the story closely. She thinks of Kawaki as her older brother. That's what her memory is telling her, yet she still wants to help Boruto, and she still believes that there's more to the story than they've been given. Again, her memory will stay affected. Kawaki's still going to be her brother in her head, but Ada already gave us a roadmap towards change. New experiences and moments can sway people's opinion, but they won't change what they in their own mind believe. It's basically like saying you can take the approach of changing someone's opinion about you, but you'll never change what relationship they believe they have with you. The narrative is clearly setting the stage for Boruto to eventually win back everything that he's lost, and I think the fact out of all the affected people, Himawari is the one most willing to consider a different possibility is our sign that Himawari will be the first one to begin to realize she can't trust her own memories and will have to fight actively to go against those memories, the same way that Sasuke's been forced to do. Getting Himawari on board would be the first domino to fall in setting the stage for Kawaki's downfall and eventual redemption, because it begins the process of waking others up to the truth. People ask me every video I mention the fact that everyone in the world believes that Naruto's dead, and they ask why. Why are people believing it so easy without a body being found and just taking Kawaki's word? The reason why Kawaki is getting over so easy with that lie is the same reason Himawari will be an asset to Boruto, because the word of the child of Naruto holds weight. The general public and the higher ups, they believe Kawaki because they believe he's the son of Naruto, and he just happened to have Ada backing it up. If Himawari starts to see the difference between Boruto and Kawaki and begins to raise that alarm, even if people's memories are affected, it's enough of an alarm bell to make someone like Shikamaru stop and pause and come to the conclusion that Sasuke did, which is that his memories, they're unreliable. Even more so with this potentially happening after Sarada told Shikamaru that he has everything wrong and that there's more to the story that he's refusing to listen to. The only difference being is that Sasuke was told the truth immediately after everything happened, and he literally had Ada explaining to him what happened. Yet even Sasuke was still unsure if he was making a mistake and still questioned if Boruto was who he said he was. So that could be a difference there. This has been 3 years later. Now I will say this, I liken the current Kawaki to Admiral Thrawn from the Star Wars series. Depending on how you view him, he can either be evil or he can be someone who has justified intentions for his actions. Allow me to explain the loose comparison between the two characters. Thrawn joined the Emperor in an effort to spare his people because that's all he cared about, keeping people safe from Emperor Palpatine and the Empire, which led to him doing some rather questionable things and going full scorched earth at sometimes in the series. because nothing else mattered to him but his race of people surviving, and the Empire's existence was the best way to ensure that. Kawaki's similar in that the only things that he truly cares about is Naruto, to a point he admits to himself it's scary how much his world revolves around Naruto, which is why he's set on killing Naruto's son, killing Code, destroying the Ten Tails, and killing all those Suzuki clan members, because the only thing that truly matters to him is Naruto's well-being. Like Admiral Thrawn, some of his actions are that of a villain, but the reasons behind them can be justified depending on how you break down their characters and interpret their action, and ultimately interpret their characters altogether. There are things that Kawaki has overlooked in his attempt to pretend to be Naruto's son, things that are currently in the process of biting him in the ass, and I think it'd be pretty poetic for the Uzumaki siblings to get back on the same page as the first ones to begin putting a wrench in Kawaki's plans. The only question left is how many of you guys are going to check out this Chainsman chapter review you see on the screen right now.